Stadium for tonight's Concacaf W Gold Cup matchup between Brazil and Panama. It's the final group stage game for these two countries, and it's happening right here in San Diego. Well, it's a little bit chillier in San Diego today. As you see, 59 degrees Fahrenheit. We had a game earlier, Puerto Rico and Colombia, in which Colombia came out victorious. 2-0 was the final. And so that means Colombia is moving on to the quarterfinals in Concacaf W Gold Cup play. Brazil already moving on to the quarterfinals with their victory over Colombia in a previous match. As we take a look at the group standing now for Panama, no victories right now, and I think they're just playing for pride at the moment, trying to pull off an upset against Brazil.
Hello, Mara. Just trying to see what Panama is really capable of doing, you know, after not the best group stage they've been expecting, and now they have to face Brazil. They already faced Brazil last summer during the World Cup. So now it's a truly important point for Panama to see at least if they can say goodbye to the tournament with not such a bitter and sour feel. And Brazil, of course, I think the biggest depth as of now is that they've only scored 2 goals. So priority towards the goal has to be #1 for Brazil today.
Alongside Carmen Boquina, Maura Sheridan, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, you said it, 2 goals, 2 victories for Brazil, but lots of shots in their last, or especially in that first game against Puerto Rico, outshot them 28-6 and yet only scored 1 goal. Now, just registered 5 shots against Colombia, and of course, got a goal 6 minutes into that match. Judas Santos, who's not in the starting lineup for Brazil, was the one to score the game winner. And then they were just holding on, trying to get some cushion for the remainder of the game. Were unable to. So just piecing together that offense is going to be the key for Brazil today as we get ready for the quarterfinals, which are coming up this weekend in CONCACAF Gold Cup play. We've just got one more group to finish out tomorrow. That's Canada, Costa Rica, Paraguay, and El Salvador.
Mara, talking about those shots, throughout the whole tournament it has been 33 for Brazil, 17 on shot. Those 17, 15 were in the games against Puerto Rico, where we know what Silvio Martinez did and disallowed those goals for Brazil. And like you mentioned, against Colombia, it was only 2 on target. So you're coming from the two different scenarios. In one, you have a lot of shot on target, you only score 1. And the other one, you only have 2 on target and you score 1. So at the end of the day, happy medium could be it, but then so many changes in the lineup can give us a bit of an idea of how they're coming into this last match, which is obviously making a few key players taking some minutes to rest, coming to the quarterfinal, which is going to be their 4th match.
Well, what was interesting about that Colombia matchup was that Brazil dominated possession time. They were in the right areas, and it was just, there weren't a lot of shots being taken in that game, but you could see that that final piece was there and could get there. This could be a real confidence game, I think, for Brazil against Panama. Of course, these are 2 teams that went to the World Cup in 2023, going head-to-head here at Snapdragon Stadium. We'll pause for national anthems from both sides.
Es ahora, hazlo ya, sin miedo vamos a jugar, las buenas o las malas, es todo o nada. Stand beside me, not behind me, share this fight, this game, this life, oh this is our dream. Together we rise, together side by side, no stop until we see our name in lights.
Please rise for the national anthem of Brazil.
Favor de ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Brasil.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Panama.
Favor de permanecer de pie para el himno nacional de Panamá.
Alcanzamos por fin la victoria en el campo de liberación. Gloria se ilumina la nueva nación. Es preciso cubrir con un velo del pasado el calvario y la cruz. Y eso acaricia tu lado, al combate de tu vida es ambos Dale, Panamá, dale, Panamá, dale, Panamá, dale.
Brazil and Panama about to kick off Snapdragon Stadium, Carmen Boquín, Maura Sheridan here in San Diego to wrap up what is Group B in the Concacaf W Gold Cup group stage. Take a look at the starting 11s for both squads, and then we'll get you our referees, and we'll kick off.
And I think one of the key changes that Artur Elias makes toward this game, it's only keeping 2 players from the last match, the match against Colombia, which is giving that chance again to Rafael and Bia Zaneratto, but also bringing up 5 players that were in the starting lineup against Puerto Rico but didn't saw any minutes against Colombia, which is Deviña, Ari Borges from the starting lineup, Beatriz, Lauren, and Bianchi. Those are the changes, many changes for sure, and giving the opportunity to many young players also to be in this starting lineup.
Yeah, completely different look for Brazil. I think they're feeling pretty confident, although this is a roster that is very deep as well. We see the 2 captains meeting and introduce you to our officials. Here, Marcotte is our center referee today. Rafaeli and Natalia Mills are the captains. And here's our VAR room. Parchment, Montero. We've seen VAR come into play in every game. Very important to have here at the Gold Cup. And the starting 11 for this Panama side.
We have 4 players that have played so far the past 2 matches, completely not even being subbed out, which is Gian and Natis, Bailey, the goalkeeper, and Tanner, the forward. So he decided that even that they didn't get the win in the last match, losing it against Puerto Rico, Nacho Quintana starts the same lineup as the one that he had in the match number 2 against Puerto Rico.
Well, Panama didn't just lose to Puerto Rico. It was a heartbreaking loss. Now, they scored in the 27th minute. It was Natalia Mills, the captain. And then after that, gave up 2 unanswered goals after the 73rd minute.
It's a hard loss.
Yeah, the final one being in stoppage time, which of course was the game winner for Puerto Rico. It's a tough pill to swallow. They had that game for the majority and it fell apart at the end. So now looking for a rebound against a very tough Brazil side.
And let's not forget, going back a little bit, that loss against Colombia was a 6-0 loss. We remember Marta crying after the game, saying that you never have to question the intensity, the effort, you know, the heart, and that something wasn't right for them. So it was a hard loss. Then you come and are facing Puerto Rico. Seems like you're winning. Your happy smiles are showing a little bit, and then in the last 18 minutes, 20 minutes, you end up losing the game. So even that they were better in some areas, it wasn't enough, and it wasn't what they expected and what's expected from Panama, because they have been growing a lot in the last few years. So now I think this is an important game against one of the better teams in the world, and maybe the true colors of Panama will come to shine as of now.
Panama in red, Brazil back to their classic kits in yellow and green. We saw their secondary kits the last time around, the purple ones. And the countdown begins to kick off between Panama and Brazil. And here we go. Panama will start with possession. Looking for Riley Tanner Long. Tanner plays in the NWSL for the Washington Spirit. Goes head-to-head with Geyse. That's going to be possession Brazil. Well, these two countries played in the 2023 World Cup in the group stage. They were in the same group, and it was a 4-0 victory for Brazil.
With a hat-trick for Ari Borges and another one for Bia Zaneratto.
And so I don't think it's a surprise that Borges is going to get the start today.
The goalkeeper, Yenith Bailey, she was important in the past 2 games. Aside from the big loss against Costa Rica, made 8 saves, and in the game against Puerto Rico, it was 4.
We've certainly seen a lot of action in this tournament so far. Ren works it around for Brazil. Played long, here's an opportunity for Davinha. Already in the 18, surveys, cross. Bailey dives, cuts that one off.
It's not even minute number 2, and Davinha already gets to be that deep, receiving that long ball into the space. Seeing that angle and just trying to connect with one of her teammates over there, but Bailey getting that ball.
Well, Davinha, of course, one of the best players in the world. Best 11 in the NWSL the last 2 years, MVP candidate as well. Came in the second half, though, for Brazil in that Colombia game. That one slotted to her. Geyse giving a chase. She had a goal in that game against Colombia, but it was called back. Also a second half sub.
Showing that she could change a bit the game and trying to see if the pressing from the team could result in a good effort.
Zaneratto will take the corner for Brazil. This one headed towards the back post. Bailey will punch it out. Ferreira misses it. Tanner wants to counter. Geyse trying to muscle it away. And she's going to slow Riley Tanner. Davinha. Panama off the swing. Pan loses control. Gabriela Barbieri is starting today in net for Brazil. It was Luciana previously. So they're giving the youngster a look, just 20 years old. As part of the U20 national team is Geyse, lets it rip! Yes!
Talk about a celebration, not even 4 minutes on the scoreboard already. Brazil out with 1 goal. Geyse celebrating. What a way of doing it, and Bailey couldn't do anything. Stays like a statue in there. Just a great ball. That mistake getting it back, and it was Geyse with a perfect volley to the near post of Bailey. She couldn't do much more, or could she?
That is so hard to do.
How to swallow that so early.
So clinical. Well, I mean, this is hard to do. Pure athleticism as well. But boy, that's a clinical finish from Geyse to start this game. Plays for Man United in the WSL, but my goodness.
And we were talking about the importance of the goal difference, and coming from 2 matches and only 2 goals, this is only the start for what Brazil intends to finalize, I think, coming out as one of the teams that earns 9 points in the group stage.
This is what Brazil did, though. They scored early against Colombia and then really struggled to find the back of the net after. So we'll see if that trend continues, or you can get a couple more.
Or you get a bit of a better work for them, being more fluid and generating occasions that end up in just a better goal.
Well, if you're Panama, you just give that up. How do you respond now? Natis, Mills had the lone score. Looking ahead to Paris. Catherine Paris is 21 years old for Panama. Plays at the 9. But the goal for Panama against Puerto Rico was a beautiful transition opportunity, started by Karina Baltrip on the back line. And she just sent a beautiful ball to Mills, who was streaking up that right side, and then centered it to score.
And throughout that game, they had the ball, they created more opportunities, find that goal through the right flank, and finally were able to get their first goal in the tournament.
Zaneratto stumbles a little bit, stays on it. Off her left foot, nothing much there. Unintended pass. Oh, it's gonna bounce around. Bianchi. Geyse gets knocked down, no call. Tanner wants to transition, and it's muscled away. Aileen with the takeaway for Brazil. Aileen, the fullback, looking for a cross, deflected up by Natis for Panama. Thais. Zaneratto. Flings it up. Ferreira, Dabinha now. Edge of the 18. Then we'll get a whistle. Offside is the call.
What a goal. Seeing it again, and she knew exactly where to put it. Impossible for Bailey in that one. The best early start that Arthur Elias could have ever planned, for sure.
Well, we still got quarterfinals and final and all of that to go here in Concacaf W Gold Cup, but that's certainly going to be a nominee for goal of the tournament, I would think.
And given more that we've seen a lot of players trying throughout the tournament to score from a distance and not being able to get it, so.
Ferreira, Mills on her back, uses her keeper. Barbieri plays it out. Ari Borges. No, Panama trying to get organized defensively. Thais, Bianchi. Right to that back line for Panama. And Hell gives it back. Dangerous spot too. Zaneratto. Dabinha is making a run. And Natis just edges it out. Trouble clearing though. Borges. Aileen. Borges thought about it. Gives it to Aileen. Slicing it through the 18.
Panama is trying to be compact to see if they can not allow Brazil to find those ways to put the ball through, but still not working so much. Dragging the mark in the perfect way. Brazil moving it from side to side.
Geyse, 1v1 with Tanner. Zaneratto off her left foot, serves it up, back post, looking for a header! It's in! Ferreira!
It's Beatriz getting the possibility for a header. Bia Zaneratto with the ball in the box, just in front of Bailey. Just another one. It's already the second goal. We're 10 minutes in the game. This has to be a really big of a deja vu for Panama, losing 4-0 against Brazil in the World Cup, and now in the W Gold Cup. They're already 2-0 in the scoreboard.
Well, on the flip side, on a positive note for Brazil, this is the hurdle they've been trying to get over,
yes,
and they do so. Beatriz with the celebration and love.
And this is the Brazil we were waiting for.
Yes. Quarterfinal going to be very interesting. Brazil, Colombia, the United States, Mexico. We'll see who comes out tomorrow of the Canada-Costa Rica group, but I imagine Canada and even Costa Rica, a World Cup team in 2023, could do some damage.
And maybe what happened against Puerto Rico, it was part of the early start of the tournament, just starting to get those minutes, playing a full game. And then against Colombia, you know, Colombia did their great job also by being able to not allow Brazil to play at their fullest. And now Panama is just leaving so many spaces that has been so easy for Brazil to score these 2 goals.
Marta Cox on a free kick for Panama. Looking for a response. Back post action, header is off the mark. Rebecca Espinoza was there for Panama. Slice on the long ball, Aileen. Back to her. Top of the box, tackled away. In with a tackle and a foul in the midfield. Paris and company will get possession for Panama.
Rangel taking the hard part here, but allowing a possibility from a free kick. To at least get as closer as you can.
Still lots of time for Panama. They just only have that 1 goal in 2 games. And I will say, I think it's really tough to start a tournament and your first game you lose 6-0. Mentally, trying to bounce back from that is really difficult. And I think you can tell from the interviews that there was disarray among this Panama organization after that loss.
And it was really hard because of what they said. And the next day, they didn't spoke to the press. They decided to take that day to swallow it and move forward. But still, there's not much time for a turnaround.
Ari Borges plays through some contact to Viña. Slows. Geyse turns a corner, breaks free, and gets tripped. Free kick on the way for Brazil.
And that's part of the worst things that can happen, Quintero. Allowing to make that mistake, a foul over Geyse, who scored that first goal, and it's gonna be Bia Zaneratto behind the ball. Really dangerous one. No doubt about it.
Bailey looking to get this defense organized for Panama. Already facing a lot of pressure in the opening minutes, not even 15 minutes into this match. Ari Borges and Zaneratto are together for this.
And both scored against Panama. in the World Cup.
Yes, some bad deja vu, I imagine, for Panama at the moment. Zaneratto takes it herself, and that wall is successful for Panama. Beatriz, here's an opportunity. Nothing much there, couldn't get a quality shot off. Geyse Bianchi was streaking into the box. And it's boxed out by Quintero. Now we got 50 goals in the Concacaf W Gold Cup with that second strike from Brazil.
That went fast, 50 already?
Well, we've seen a lot of high-scoring, lopsided games. Rafaeli Bianchi gets pushed by Cox. No call. Well, Marta Cox is the playmaker for Panama, but she hasn't really had a chance to do that.
I think it had troubled her throughout the last 2 games, not being able to just get those balls easier, having to move a lot, going way back to try to see if she can get any ball, and then failing to have that last person for another shot.
Well, Brazil's so quick that Marcotte couldn't get out of the way in time, so we'll do a drop ball for Brazil. Bianchi has it nudged away. Cox spins. Heavy touch, and it's right back with Brazil. There's an opportunity, Geyse again, and Bailey reaches for it. And that was crucial, almost a brace.
It was beautiful also, not only so important mind-wise, you know, like coming from that big mistake, disallowing your chance and then allowing Brazil to create this, and Bailey with just really a great elegance, putting her arm to take that ball.
Well, that's something that just can't happen, a touch like that for Panama in their own end. This Brazil team is obviously so threatening in the attacking third, but they can smell blood in the water right now, I think, as well. You don't want to let this get so out of hand like it did against Colombia.
There has to be more control and communication, and we're not only saying it because we want to, but because after the first game, that's what Marta said, that they needed to change that communication and control.
Tanner, wide with it. Paris. 2 defenders swarm. Aileen pushes her out of play, and Brazil gets possession back. Loren. Switching the point of attack for Brazil up that left flank. Beatriz Ferreira scored the last goal for Brazil. Rafaeli, Ari Borges, both NWSL players. Espinoza uses her keeper, Bailey. Cautious, Zaneratto's right there.
That is a pressure that Brazil will always put, playing that last ball.
Bianchi draws a foul.
And it's again Quintero. I think she's getting another warning, but next time she could end up seeing a yellow card.
No cards yet for either team.
And Quintero already has one.
Looking for a runner, and that one just slips behind. Well, the flag's up again. Well,
It was Divino.
I just can't get over the aftermath. I mean, you have to know you're going to hit that.
Mara, I wouldn't be able to do that even in my dreams.
No, yeah. But the risk you take, you know, to get injured, she must have practiced that 1 billion times. It's on a level that I think most of us lay people can't quite understand.
Yeah, that's one of the, you know, those celebrations that you always remember. But it's not easy to get it done.
Cox straight away on a free kick. Barbieri hasn't been tested yet. The Brazilian keeper. From Cox. Not enough height to that one. Mishit, I think, by Marta Cox. Ricochets off a couple defenders. Ball trip. Assisted on the lone goal for Panama in this tournament. And Cox looks a little shaken up, hobbling on the pitch right now.
I think it must be overwhelming to see where your team is. It shouldn't be that disappointing also, but it's part of the sports. Now the important thing is how you lose. And she mentioned that also in that super emotional interview. This is her taking, well, I think it was intended to go that low.
Yeah, I think she landed strange on the aftermath though. Trying to go over the top of the defense. Barbieri scoops it out.
Talk about young players, not Luciana like we mentioned, and it's Barbieri, the player from Flamengo, with only 20 years old, getting her cap.
Yeah, first cap today. Corner's on the way for Brazil. Lots of options through the air if that's where Brazil chooses to go. Geyse, Cafeli from that back line. It will be Debinha to take this. A little hesitation. And Marcotte's gonna break up Bianchi and Matisse. From Debinha. Looking for a header for Ellie, and it's in!
So what a connection from a set piece. Debinha, Raffaele, now it's the third in the game. 23 minutes so far. And things have to change for Panama. Defensively, change the game plan for sure. It's a perfect corner, and it's even a perfect jump from Raffaele with that great header.
Oh, the captain heads it home for Brazil.
Yes.
And that's the second one through the air that we've seen for Brazil. Now up 3-0. And things are getting out of hand already for Panama.
We talked about Brazil only scoring 2 goals in the last 2 games, and now it's less than 25 minutes and already an important 5-goal difference.
Debinha was blazing forward. That foul against Bianchi. Marcotte, our referee, is gonna go check on Natisse, center back for Panama today. Limping a little bit.
You know how many goals they need to score now? If they want to be #1 in the standings, going to the quarterfinals, expecting that Canada may win their last game, 5 more. Or probably.
Well, at this rate, it's not out of the question.
Or probably a few more. That would give them the idea that nothing, well, of course, Canada can score a lot of more goals, but to be first or second.
Mills turns on the Jets. Barbieri beats everyone to it.
Sends that ball for a throw-in and now gets towards the goal, and it's gonna be, it's not gonna be Mills, it's Jaén.
Mills. Box out there. Beatriz gets situated. That's so far so good from Brazil.
And not even needing a high pressure, which is another important thing, because you're not gonna quote unquote waste that much energy trying to do that. Just moving the ball a little bit with the right amount of pressure, they have been able to already score 3 goals.
Zaneratto waits for it, slots it ahead, and it's intercepted by Tanner. Cox. Paris wants a foul. No shots for Panama yet.
And I think it's gonna be a bit harder to getting closer to Barbieri's goal. We talked about the last 2 games and the amount of shot. It wasn't that bad, only scoring 1 goal, but at least they created 13 shots and 7 of them were on target.
Beatriz sprints to it on the left wing, serves it up. It's a little low. And no one's there on the end of it for Brazil. Dabinia working to get it back and take it away from Mills. It's cleared. Rafaeli just scored, bobbles it around, and now possesses for Brazil.
And 2 of the goals have come from a clear from Panama, being well taken by Brazil.
Bianchi, Geyse, header, high.
And another one here, another good example of how you can lose the ball in your own area of the field by not being more correct in those passes and allowing Brazil a good opportunity.
Tanner. Aileen, full turnaround, still ends up with it somehow. Drives up that right flank. Geyse gets... Bianchi floats it up. Zaneratto, Geyse tries to one-time it, so close. Just mishit a little bit. And now I think Brazil's, you know, getting a little fancy with things, why not?
Jogo bonito. Start setting it in place, please.
Quintero, ball trip. Well, this was always going to be a pretty difficult group when you consider that Brazil and Colombia 1 and 2 in the Copa America in 2022, both went to the World Cup in 2023, and for Colombia made it all the way to the quarterfinal. Brazil bowed out in the group stage, and it was surprising.
It was surprising to see, and for everyone, to see Puerto Rico winning against Panama.
Yeah.
We all thought Panama had a chance, but then, you know, the growth and the evolution of Puerto Rican football made them get that win, and now Panama just feeling like they could only wish for better things to happen, but it seems impossible as of now. And I think this Gold Cup is going to be really critical for them moving forward, to getting a group more cohesive and correcting every mistake that was done here from every single point. Many players not being called.
Zaneratto evades a defense with her left foot, takes a shot. Bailey bobbles and corrals it in.
Zaneratto with that shot. And Bailey in this one was perfect there in that near post. With all her knee just getting that, grabbing that ball.
Marta Cox is down in pain for Panama. Training staff is out to tend to her. Well, Panama already down, and if Cox is not able to continue, this would be another just big loss for them. Bailey, the keeper, checking on Marta Cox.
Yeah, the player from Cholos de Tijuana. She played both last games in the starting lineup, being subbed in just the last minute of the first game against Colombia. And it's truly that big of a litter on the field and off the field. And I know I keep going back to that interview because it's really emotional when you're coming from a 6-0 loss, and you know, those interviews after the game, she was crying, she was calling up for her teammates that they needed to change the attitude, that is a non-negotiable. You can lose, yes, but not losing the way they lost that game, which this looks a bit different coming from that one.
See this Zaneratto chance, and then Cox just an awkward, again, landing, and that's the second time she's landed uncomfortably.
Yeah, it was just at the moment that Marta Cox was putting her left foot. It was Bia Zaneratto putting hers on top. It was, but she touched the ball. It was more of a circumstance.
Well, Cox is going to limp off the pitch, and we'll see if Quintana, head coach for Panama, needs to make a change.
International handshake of medio. Medium, you know, when you move your hand from side to side.
Yeah, just okay.
Just okay. Like around there.
Off the drop to Bailey. Beatriz, Davinia, both looking to swipe, and Beatriz runs out of space.
How important has been Davinia with those 2 assists and just being able to move everywhere. She's coming back.
Not just trying to get her cleat back on, but will re-enter the match, it appears. Marta Cox still doesn't look the most comfortable. Fans for Brazil looking on. Panama as well. And San Diego. Well, just a couple of days off for Brazil, and then they'll either be playing Saturday or Sunday in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, if they get that amount of goals, they could be first, if not, probably second. or if Canada doesn't win, they can be first.
Canada plays Costa Rica tomorrow, and that's gonna be a pretty good match, I think. Tanner picks up speed as she centers, swerves, and Bianchi tackles it away. And Julia Bianchi plays for the Chicago Red Stars in the NWSL. Really good at connecting for Brazil. Geyse picks up speed, ball trip with a tackle, and it's clean. Keeps on going, does the Brazilian forward. Moves around, cross in, and that one out, at least for now, for Panama. 10 minutes to go in the first half. We've seen 3 goals. This is the longest stretch we've gone in this match without a goal.
Those runs by Beatriz has been really good through that left flank.
Another good tackle for Panama. Relentless so Brazil. Geyse right at the edge of the 18. Chipped up and tapped out.
And after the game, the last goal, we were saying a change of in the formation. It wouldn't be bad. I know nobody wants to be losing 3-0, but after that, they started putting 6 in the back line, defending more. Now it's going to be harder for Brazil to try to find those spaces and put those balls through, but it seems that Panama has been able to slow down a bit Brazil.
Zaneratto, and that's headed away. Hell last to touch it, so we'll do it again. And we've seen 2 goals through the air already for Brazil. Rafaeli had the last one. She is definitely a target. From Zaneratto towards the back post, looking for a header, and it's missed.
Probably after the halftime, I'm guessing with this result, Brazil can make a bit more changes, try to rest a few players, and also give them the opportunity to get more minutes.
Dabinia takes off in the box, cuts it back. Matisse guarding her. Beatriz. And another corner for Brazil.
Yet another one for Brazil, and again, those mistakes made by Panama. Well stolen of a ball from Davinia. If she just gets a ball from the left flank, she won't stop until she gets in a center position to try to find another opportunity.
Matisse slow to get out. Gonna continue and has to get ready and organize on this set piece. Dabinia opts to go with a short pass. Beatriz off the mark on that shot.
She has been on with the shots. Beatriz just trying to get one for herself after that 3 ones already. This is her second one. So her second shot.
Well, Matisse still working on her side. Well, you can tell how Panama wants any sort of opportunity. We've still not seen a shot for them. Barbieri was able to come up and just beat out that front line. Paris.
Been really hard just crossing that half line, and not that easy to get to connect more than 3 passes at a time. But this is because of the big and high pressing from Brazil, just being there and disallowing Panama at all times.
Quintero, Cox back on the pitch. Mills serves it up. Oh, looking for a cutter and Hell, and it's out of play. Attacking third though for Panama, and Hyen will throw it in. Paris back to the net. Starts, stops, running out of options. Hand off her right foot. Puts it in the 18. Cox wants a call, is not gonna get one. Here's a counter instead for Brazil. Zaneratto, Davinia. Geyse. Booted all the way back. Barbieri. About 5 minutes left in the first half. Beatriz off her right foot, service up, Geyse, and it's saved by Bailey.
Great save by Bailey and perfect way. That's the way you get a header connected. Beatriz just doing whatever she wants in that left flank, perfect ball. Clinical in every single step in the rise and in the shot and in the direction. The only thing, of course, it was Bailey there getting that ball.
Well, last goal for Brazil was in the 23rd minute. Bailey on a header. Bailey backtracks off the bounce. They can reset for Panama. The way Geyse is playing, something tells me that she might get a brace today. She certainly had a couple more opportunities since she scored. Opened up the scoring in the 4th minute for Brazil. Quintero. Tyen. Mills. Right flank, drives it up. Here's Mills again. Flicks to Tyen. They combine. And there's a collision. As you can see, Rangel and Barbieri both go down. Oh, the keeper still on the ground.
She was going towards it was part of the contact. Understandable if it goes either way. But what a good play from Panama. And individually what Mills did.
Yeah, that's really close to being goal number 1 for Panama, I think.
It was one of the best ones.
Yeah, one of their best opportunities. Barbieri's still down.
She was going towards the ball, try to see if she could reach out in just a possible way. Ends up hitting Barbieri.
Yeah, rising up for it. It's not something you can control too much. Well, fans, I think, for Brazil, very happy with this opening half performance so far. Is definitely concerned for Barbieri, though. And the keeper's going to get up. Sure, eager to continue with her debut happening right now.
Only 20 years old. Let's not forget that.
Barbieri is good, plays it out from the back for Brazil. Bailey. Aileen. And it's chipped away. Natisse. Tanner. Paris. All the way back to help out and try to get something going for Panama. Haven't had many transition chances against Brazil so far. nearing the end of this half. From ball trip, Aileen Hafeli slices it through Ari Borges, and it's ripped away. Paris wants to go. 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Almost quite as expected. Only 3 minutes. Good time for Brazil to keep doing what they're doing, not changing that game plan, and Panama to see if they can twitch something.
Aileen pushed off it from Matisse.
Matisse was getting carried away.
A little jawing back and forth.
A big push, though.
Well, it will be a goal kick for Bailey and company. Scoring stalled for Brazil. And that's good for Panama. It looked like we were really trending towards something disastrous. Still, 3-0. It's a big hole to climb out of for Panama, but it's not impossible. Got to start getting some more quality chances. Mills picks up some speed. Cox reaching for it, and it's tackled away. Brazil looking to transition and counter. Actually, they'll slow. Aileen. Quintero lowers her shoulder. Ball trip, little combination. Quintero switching the point of attack. High Mills. Centers. Now with Cox. Over to Hyen, who's making a run in the 18. Cuts it back, takes a shot, and it's off. Misses wide.
Yeah, but one of the better opportunities that Panama has had. Hyen was running towards the goal. She had a clear idea. Two of her teammates were there. I think it was Baltrip, one of them, and Marta, I think, was the other one. She decided to go to the goal. It's not bad, but it ends up going wide. And you can't risk those chances.
Panama, though, winning balls now in the midfield, and they get it back. Now it's just about possessing and taking care of it after the fact.
I get the feel that it's been done by a necessity by Brazil, just trying to allow them to get the ball a bit more so they can stop being that defensive with that 5 or 6 in the back.
Davinia, full speed ahead. And Bailey was there as well. They'll just watch it roll. Well, that's going to take us to the end of the first half. Brazil pours on 3 goals, up 3-0 against Panama. Geyse gets it going. Beatriz and Hafeli are the other goal scorers for Brazil. Very much in the driver's seat of this match against Panama.
I think this is the perfect idea of Brazil and what they wanted towards this game. It's the 3rd one of the competition prior to those quarterfinals. Only 2 goals scored in the first 2 games. So it was important to see themselves just being able to be more offensive. Great assistance by Davinia, Bia Zaneratto, and many other players, including Beatriz, Thais, just trying to see if they could also score another goal. So this is a good feeling for Brazil coming towards the next stage of the tournament.
And there's still 45 minutes left in this match, and of course they're already in the clear in terms of moving on to the quarterfinals, so they can play loose and work on things, set the tone for the knockout stage after this, which again starts Saturday and Sunday. Well, this game has been dominated by Brazil in really every facet, and we saw them come out hot and ready to play and then continue that, which is something that they had struggled a little bit with in previous matches within the group stage.
That is true. I felt that it went so fast.
It did.
But I'm guessing Panama players on the field felt it was like a century. And, you know, I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it's that feeling that you get when a team doesn't feel that they did their best, and that is the feel that Marta transferred. No shots on target, not one for Panama. Well done, Brazil.
60% possession for Brazil. Almost thought it was higher than that.
For me, it feel like it was a bit higher, maybe, or you know,
Felt that way.
Yeah, maybe that those big parts of the game throughout where Brazil just had the ball and keep moving it from flank to flank and just trying and keep creating those opportunities.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes. Brazil and Panama battling it out here in San Diego, wrapping up the night.
Yes, with that Brazil with so many changes in that starting lineup to face Panama.
Well, right away, Debinha with a nice ball, fighting for it, and then Geyse just lets it fly.
And the mistake, it was Jaén that made that mistake, touching the ball with the header, just sending it directly to Geyse. And the jump, Mara, just for you, so you can like, and it was 1, 2, 3.
Unbelievable.
Maybe you can practice.
Oh, yeah. Can't even do a somersault, I'm pretty sure. Now this is the second goal, and this in just a couple minutes later, 11th minute. Beatriz streaking up that back post, heads it home, and then just tucks it in the corner. And that would make it 2-0. Not done yet, though. Debinha on another set piece.
And this was the other one, exactly the same, but from the other side, with Debinha taking that set piece, that corner, and Rafaele scoring for the third one of the game. Important from Brazil, now has that goal differential in 5.
There was a couple of good saves from Bailey. That's one of them. Zaneratto was looking to tuck it in the corner. We saw Marta Cox get banged up.
Yeah, Bailey was important with those 2 saves. A few other chances for her just to grabbing the ball, but the big ones were 2.
Geyse, again, this one a leaping grab for Bailey. That would have been a brace for Geyse. Instead, it's just 3-0 for Brazil. Still very much in control of this match after 45 minutes of play.
And 45 minutes ahead, we'll see if some changes are made or these players keep trying to see if they can score more goals. Talking about Brazil.
ready for the second half between these two countries. Now we got a bunch of subs coming in for Brazil. Not really a surprise. I mean, they had rotated a lot in terms of this starting 11 in general.
Yeah, and we mentioned it towards the end of the first half. It was quite the obvious that could happen. Give the opportunity to another players, take the advantage to allow others to rest, and just get the flow of the whole teammates to be able to keep having more games between each other.
Well, Gabi Nunes, who just came in, is going to be the one to kick this off for Brazil. Brazil in yellow and Panama in red, if you're just tuning in. Geyse, Beatriz Ferreira are our goal scorers so far. Also saw Antonia and Yaya also check in for Brazil.
Talking about Yaya, the player from Corinthians, 24 years old, and just starting to get caps with Brazil, so this is important minutes for her.
Well, it's really scary to think Brazil just has a lot of options. And, you know, someone like Gabi Nunes coming in off the bench, well, she had a goal, a game winner against Puerto Rico, and she was a big part. She had an assist in the lone goal for Duda Santos in the last match, victory against Colombia.
Yeah, I think the player from, it's just part of the rotation that Arturo Elias had been having. The player from Levante was a sub in the first game, and then she started in the second one. Now he decided to put another players before her, but now that the game is 3-0, she's stepping forward again for the last 45 minutes.
Antonia curls it up back post and just a little high for anyone to get to. But it's a good thing that Brazil, you know, has a lot of options. They have different combinations they can play, and I think a lot of it, especially when we get to the knockout round, will depend on matchups and who he thinks fits better where. It's a mark of a good team, and obviously Brazil is that, and we've known that. One of the best teams in the world. Just had a really tough World Cup in 2023. We're really disappointed, but have gone to all 9. We're runners-up in 2007. Of course, are gearing up for the Olympics in 2024, looking to have a better run this time around.
Yeah, that's going to be really important. Another great summer for Brazil in expectation of results, not that it happened last year.
Cox. Tanner. Van Defense getting back for Brazil. It's Paris. Antonia just came in. Tanner beats a couple of defenders for Brazil. Now she puts on a cross and it's light. Barbieri will cover. Beatriz was really causing a lot of problems up that left side in the first half. Nice ball ahead. And it's tapped out by ball trip. Intended for Bianchi. Geyse muscles it away. Takes off in the box. Dumps it for Nunes. And it's ripped away and cleared. Paris. Tanner. Van Hel looking to turn and go, and is denied by Antonia. Antonia started the last match for Brazil. Pretty versatile player in terms of where she can play on that back line. This one given to Mills, and it's dispossessed back with Brazil. Yaya picking up some speed. Back to her. Geyse wide with it. Ball trip comes out to defend. Makes a move. Pass ball trip. This one bobbled. Trying to clear is Mills. That took a lot of time. Here's an opportunity. Yaya, top of the 18, fires, and it bounces away.
What a sequence of opportunities. Well done by Brazil, just moving that ball first from the right flank, putting the ball in the box, and a few intentions to reach the ball, but not enough. Even Devinha in that last one, and then it's this shot that goes wide.
Tanner, just a lot of players around her. Runs right into Nunes. Bailey just made that stop, and you could see the rebound. It was almost a goal for Brazil. Yeah. Beatriz plays it long. Geyse trying to turn and fire. Gets square. Tanner on her back. There's a shot put on. Stopped. Second chance in. Devinha finishes. 4-0 Brazil.
And the great Devinha, she was waiting for that goal. Had 2 assists. She worked for it throughout the first half. And now, after the first shot, the second one, she doesn't miss. She scores against Bailey for the fourth of the match.
Yeah, just so many touches in the box for Brazil. That is never a good thing to have to withstand for any defense, and that one, you knew it immediately as it lands for Devinha. This is trouble.
Yeah, the first shot is from Bianchi, and then that rebound just gets in the perfect way for her to score. And I think Bailey was like blocked-sided because of Natis just being in front of that line. Didn't help her in that one.
Oh, the first goal of the second half for Brazil. You said they had to get now 4 more?
Yeah, to try, because Canada scored, they have a goal difference of 10 goals because of the 10 that scored and non-conceded. And quote unquote, if Canada wins, it gets 9 points. If not, Brazil already is 9 with a +6. So it could potentially be first or second. That is a for sure.
Now, exciting for Brazil. Really good showing in this Concacaf W Gold Cup. Of course, the first iteration as Nunes falls down. Did she get knocked by Natis? No call. And it's turned over. Bianchi, top the 18. Nunes takes a shot. And was that a handball? Seemed like it.
Great job by Devinha with those 2 assists and the goal. And not only the numbers after what she's done, like throughout the whole game, just playing the best way possible, just getting every minute and trying to just be that Devinha we know.
We'll see this. Oh. Well, first you could see Natis stepping to, and we're going to play on. Nunes was calling for a foul. Of course, in the box, it would have been a penalty. But we're going to continue. Nice looking on. Has got to be pleased with Brazil's performance so far in this match. Of course, they're probably hoping to continue to hang on to a shutout.
Yeah, that's important too. And 2 of those games were with Luciana, and now this one with Barbieri.
Rangel, bit of a weak shot. Barbieri. with the easy rollout. Tafeli takes her space. Thais. Yaya. Can't connect. In terms of Gold Cup teams we know are going to the next round, Mexico, the United States, Brazil, and Colombia. We'll figure out the next group tomorrow.
And it's clear to say that Argentina and Puerto Rico with 4 and 3 points respectively, waiting to see if either is going to be one of, or maybe the two of those best thirds that make it out to the knockout stage. So
same with Paraguay, El Salvador, and Costa Rica in that next group. So we won't be able to finalize everything until tomorrow, and then we'll know the 2 third-place teams that prevail as well. Yaya. Quick passes here for Brazil. Geyse thought about it. Pushes it wide. And a corner opportunity for Brazil.
This second half, I wish we could see more of that, more quick passes, more of a high pressure, balls really deep, and being able to break through those lines of Panama that for some minutes you think they're really structured and well in defense, but then you feel that they can break really fast.
Beatriz in swinger. Nunez leaping for the header. Nothing there. Captain. Thais. Davinia. Service. Back post. And that one's over. It was Tanner who sent it over the crossbar with her head.
Good one by Riley Tanner, just doing that job, you know, taking the ball out, conceding, yes, a corner kick, but well done.
Here's another cross. Bailey swats it down, lands for Mills, heels it out, which is a little dangerous. Now Panama wants to counter Antonia there instead. Barbieri through the air. Aileen, now for Brazil. Bianchi and Paris both go down. Geyse turns, past ball trip. Tanner, missed tackle. Looking for Davinia on that back post almost. Here's Davinia, has the last score for Brazil. Thais. Nobody there. Well, this was the score when these two teams met in the World Cup in 2023, 4-0.
Only there was Bia Zaneratto scoring 1 and Ari Borges with a hat-trick.
Geyse. Around Tanner, around ball trip, keeps on powering through, and then Tanner has had enough, gets a tackle. A touch away for Brazil. Antonia on the ball. Slides it to the center. Thais. Davinia with the chip. Nunez is looking to head it forward.
It was a perfect chip.
It was. Yeah. Looking for Nunes. Tumbles down. We'll get a whistle. Concacaf W Gold Cup action. Final game of the group stage, Brazil and Panama. And this is it for Panama. Their final match. They'll be going home after this, finishing last in the group. Another corner for Brazil.
And they already made history. They went to the World Cup. The growth has been clear. It wouldn't seem like this is, you know, the best presentation they wanted to give. That's something that is for sure. But still, good things to take out of it and try to keep improving and be better towards the next Gold Cup.
Beatriz will wait on this corner. Narcisse is saying it wasn't her that pushed. In swinger, and the header's high. Good chance though, Thais. Boy, all of these have gone through, and Panama's had some trouble marking players on that back post through the air.
It's not marking any player, it's marking Brazil, and they do get a way of trying to be able to break away from that mark when we see the first sub for Panama, and it's Mills stepping out and Castillo stepping in.
Catherine Castillo comes in, 27 years old, also an attacking threat for Panama. Now Mills, the captain, her day is done, and her trip to the Concacaf W Gold Cup is also done.
And now it's going to be, I think it was Marta Cox with the armband. Yes.
Yeah, and if this holds, if this score holds, if Panama doesn't find the back of the net in this match, then Mills' goal is the only one of the Gold Cup for Panama. Quintero down in some pain.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, Beatriz with that. Gets a
Yeah.
yellow card.
The first yellow of the game. I think it was a bit too much where you are situated. You're winning 4-0. Felt kind of quote unquote unnecessary.
Well, this
for
has been,
Beatriz. Yeah.
it's been very tame compared to that Brazil-Colombia game in terms of the physicality that we saw. And Quintero being tended to. Well, we might have to get a sub for her.
And it's apparent that it's gonna happen. She doesn't want her ankle to be moved.
So here comes the stretcher for Quintero.
Yeah, you can clearly see how she ends up hurting her right ankle. And this is gonna be a player that's been doing a lot of job in recovery of balls and just going forward every time that Brazil has trying to get closer to Bailey. She was keen disallowing Brazil.
So they will definitely have to make a change, Panama. Quintero's out. Brazil looks like they're going to put in Adriana. Adriana in, Aileen out.
This is a fourth sub for Brazil. Adriana, the midfielder from Orlando Pride. She started in the first one and the second one and gets minutes from the bench in this third match.
Definitely a big part of the future for Brazil. I think we're seeing a lot of those players get opportunities, especially in this match.
Well, Aileen that left, she's only 18.
Yes, exactly. Barrieri is 20. And then even Ari Borges, just 24.
And that has to be the key for the next years after names like, and the likes of Marta leaving La Canariña, you know, getting the opportunity for new players to come in and start getting their minutes in the roster and looking, I'm guessing, towards 2027, right?
Oh, Brazil's never missed a World Cup.
Nope. And I don't think there ever will.
Geyse runs out of space. All right, looks like this will be the change for Panama. Erica Hernandez is gearing up to enter.
Because of that injury for Aldris Quintero. The forward, again, 24 years old. First caps in this new process with Quintana for her.
Davinia. Nunes spins. Pushed off the ball. Adriana. Geyse. Left for Adriana. Now she twirls in the box. And Bianchi. Antonia regroup. Thais. Wide. Beatriz. Floats it up. Well, here comes Brazil again. Davinia, nice run. Looking to cut it back, nobody there. Little Meg there for Cox. Little stiff arm from Davinia. Cox on the ground. All right, here's that change. Quintero, as we said, was stretchered off, so Erica Hernandez comes in.
And this is the second one for Panama after Mills.
Hernandez has a nickname. She's on the World Cup squad in 2023, and they called her Siri because she is so talkative. Well, that's a nickname.
I feel like I can relate.
Yeah. Not intentional from Davinia there, and Cox is going to just try to walk it off. She's certainly been bounced around in this match.
But she's still there, you know. That's
Yeah.
part of how big of a leader in the field she is.
Thais, Panama, sitting back now.
Coming into the last 20 minutes, I guess the question could be, how much longer is Brazil gonna just keep trying to move the ball, get those minutes between each other, and get the feel of what's gonna happen in coming into the quarterfinal? Because this is not gonna be the lineup for the quarterfinal. So this is for the minutes of every player and individually gaining more confidence.
And fouls out of necessity, as Beatriz was about to sprint into the box or at least put on a nice cross. Dabini on a free kick instead. From Davinia, punched away. Bailey, pile up in the 6. Well, of course, there was a bit of a shock yesterday when Mexico took down the US to win that group, Group A. But this group, I think, going as expected. The shocker was Puerto Rico making the run that they did.
That is true. Like, we had the clear idea that Brazil and Colombia were the 2 teams that probably were going to make it to the next round. And then, I guess in paper, we all thought it was going to be Panama. And then the good surprise, the interesting story of this group stage has been Puerto Rico, waiting to see if it's going to be them, if it's going to be Argentina, or maybe Paraguay or Costa Rica, because we don't know who's going to be the second one in Group C.
Geyse, Davinia is open. Heavy touch, and she's blocked on the shot. Clearance does not work out for Panama. Adriana, Geyse. Adriana, Geyse, back turned. Now she breaks through, corner.
And mistakes are being made in Panama's defense, but they still trying to show those moments where they can take control again, like what we just saw Espinosa do. And now Brazil forcing another corner. Goals have come this way for them. We'll see if they get another chance. Now it's Beatriz behind the ball.
Well, Geyse has been putting defenders on skates for this match. Definitely the MVP if I was to pick one, although Davinia's also giving her a run. This one an in-swinger. Batted down. Geyse blocked. Davinia. Antonio on the service. Nunes was open. Cox, can they transition? And once again, it's swiped by Brazil. I think Panama's running out of gas as well.
Yeah, the amount of pressure without pressure per se, because it's all being played for Brazil, the ball, the opportunities, and just being so deep.
Davinia, lots of space to operate. She looks for a cutting Adriana, and that one soars over. You know, what's interesting is all 4 CONMEBOL invitees could make the quarterfinals. So we could have it split because Argentina and Paraguay are still in the mix as the potential 3rd place teams.
That is true.
We already know Brazil and Colombia are going through in this group. Just speaks to how strong a confederation they are. Adriana, she's fresh legs and she just loses Cox in the dust.
Without forgetting that it was Panama who disallowed Paraguay to get into the World Cup.
Oh, I don't think Paraguay forgets that. Davinia curls it up, back post. Nunes punched away by Bailey. Here's a second chance. Yaya's there. No, says Bailey. 3rd chance is in. Geyse with a brace. Relentless Brazil.
Well, you called it early on that Geyse was gonna be trying to see if she can score that brace. She had a few chances in the first half, and then in this one, maybe working more, which is good. It's important always to be able to know how to come back. Well done, Bailey, in that first one, then the second one, but couldn't do as much for the 3rd shot, which is the one that Geyse ends up sending just to the back of the net with a rebound. With a rebound included. There. On ball trip.
Well, it's been all Brazil this match, and that has not changed in the second half. This was the offensive explosion that Brazil had been waiting for, that we had been waiting for from Brazil.
And to take advantage of those chances, and even if they don't have them, they have been able to create it, changing that formation from moment to moment.
This second half in particular, we have spent really, feels like every moment really in the attacking third for Brazil. Finally, though, something positive. Castillo for Panama. Get a throw in, at least can give that defense some rest. 15 minutes to go, Brazil at 5-0. We're up 3-0 at the half, so we've seen 2 goals to Bia and Geyse in this second half so far. Paris and Loren both on the ground.
With 11 shots for Brazil so far in this game, scoring 5, and just on target, there were a big number. Panama only 1 by Rangel in the first half.
Yeah, again, we're seeing them be very clinical, technically sound. Nunes tumbles. Appears to be all right. Beatriz. Davinia. Nunes. Met by the defense in Cox. This one's gonna hang up there. Davinia. Geyse calling for it. Yeah. Ball trip. Scary when Geyse's there. And she tackles it away.
Mara, we've seen Brazil with goals from set piece, from corners, from long distance. That's always important. Also, being in a tournament like this, be able to have those chances from so many different ways.
This is not a team that I would want to run into in a knockout stage.
And they're going to be facing probably one of the best thirds. So, with that being said, it could be Argentina, it could be Puerto Rico,
who they've already faced,
or it could be Paraguay. Probably if they end up being first. And if it's second, it could probably be still one of those.
So they've played themselves into a really good position. And it just depends on how this Canada game shakes out, if they also remain undefeated. Geyse picks up steam. And on that wing, it's poked out by Natisse.
I like that way the tournament has been set up. It's interesting and more exciting.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the teams that kind of earned an easier route, and I say easier because it's a knockout stage and it's, quarterfinals, get that chance. And Brazil certainly earned it. If Canada wins tomorrow, they will have as well.
And they're still the best 8, so they're ready to put up a big fight.
Well, Brazil likely trying out some different iterations too of set pieces as we get to the end of this match. Davinia. Antonia. Adriana. Duda Santos will come in for Brazil. Scored the game winner against Colombia.
It's Lauren, the one stepping out of the field. She was MVP in the last game with that important goal for the win against Colombia, like you mentioned.
Beatriz off her left foot, a service cleared by Castillo. Well, that's been what's, I think, made Brazil so successful in this Gold Cup, is that they've had, you know, a different weapon every night, different player that sort of stepped up. And today it was multiple.
And that's always important. Of course, you have players that score more, but if you can generate it from forwards and midfield or even defense, even better.
Yeah, we saw Rafaeli score on the set piece. I mean, that's where she's going to do her damage today. Adriana slicing through in that middle. Yaya gets taken down. Nunes blocked. And a free kick just outside the 18 for Brazil. About 10 minutes to go in this match against Panama.
And we were talking about the goals coming in from every possible way. Well, we have another big chance here.
Duda Santos, Nunes, both preparing. In that game against Colombia, it was Duda, not Duda Santos, Duda, that took the majority of the set pieces for Brazil. Not they have a lot of different players with the ability, Nunes and Santos being two of them, Debinha as well. Straight away, sometimes this one's hard. The wall's right there, but if you have the texture to it, I
You
think
can
a lot
send that on the back of the net or way up high.
This one from Nunes over the crossbar.
Yeah, not so much. Next one, Duda. She's looking to the screen to see it. It wasn't that high, though.
Well, that had the right trajectory to go in. All right, changes for Panama. Montenegro in. Van Hel out. Paris out. Sherlyn King in. King's just 17, so getting an opportunity here with Panama. Debinha on the attack again. 1v1, swerves, takes a shot, and it's saved by Bailey. Second chance, Debinha's there again, all over the place. Debinha saved again, Bailey. Wow. Well, the keeper for Panama has seen enough of Debinha. This one flicked on. And Panama can breathe for a second.
Yeah, it was a high pressuring that one. With just the need of Debinha just to try to score another one with that first one over here. And then Bailey perfectly chipping that ball from her control. Another two more saves for Bailey.
Well, definitely been a bright spot for Panama. But how about Debinha? I mean, she's been going 90 minutes, and just to have the endurance and the energy to do what she just did, incredible. These are the goals so far.
In games like this, with so many goals and so many good players on the field, it's so hard to find who's the MVP of the game, who's the player of the game. I would say Debinha. And you?
Yeah, Debinha's been in the mix of everything, although, again, Geyse, I think, is another option. Overlapping run for Adriana.
For both.
Breezes past the defense. But in general, I think this has been a real team victory for Brazil. Everyone's done their job well. Hernandez. Debinha back with it for Brazil. Nunes faces up. With Espinoza. somehow rides at end line and gets a corner for Brazil. Again, just so technical.
Oh, if I could hear that conversation.
Davinia again, another set piece. So many today for Brazil. This is corner number 8.
And it was not in the line, Davinia.
There she is. That one an outswinger. Second ball in. And it just took a deflection wide. Otherwise, Antonia would have scored.
Always taking advantage of any opportunity from that ball being put out by Panama, and then a distance shot for another corner. 9 now.
Beatriz will do it from the opposite side. 5 minutes to go, Brazil and Panama. 5-0 is the score. So make this 9 corners for Brazil. Marcotte, our center referee, just breaking things up. Now Beatriz near post, nothing there. Transition chance for Panama and King. Adriana will at least quiet that opportunity. Well, that's a look at the couple of goals for Brazil in this second. Davinia, Geyse.
Both of them in the second half.
"12 shots for Brazil, just 1 for Panama. Played long and high. Player down for Brazil. Now Cox gets undercut. Or excuse me, that's Hernandez for Panama.
And I think it's ties.
Yeah, this Thais just runs right into Hernandez. Gets clipped on that one.
So as of now, it's a really important victory for Brazil, being number 1 in Group B with 9 points, awaiting to see if Canada is gonna get a win and tie them with 9 points. And the goal differential, here's where it's gonna be key. But it's clear that Brazil and Canada are the only other teams that could be first or second. Or maybe Canada loses and stay with 6. We never know, but
that would cause some chaos, I think.
it would indeed.
Well, Canada will play, well, let me just not take my eye off this game.
No.
Considering what Brazil is doing. Geyse, pure energy. Ooh, a whistle comes out. Canada, Costa Rica, that's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. They'll play at Shell Energy Stadium tomorrow in Houston, Texas, and then it's Paraguay, El Salvador.
El Salvador made a good game against Costa Rica, ended up not being able to take the win, but with Seren just trying to do as much damage as possible for Costa Rica.
So the way I view this is Canada, Costa Rica will decide the top of the table in the quarterfinals, and Paraguay and El Salvador will decide the bottom of the table. So by roughly 11 p.m. Eastern time, we'll have an idea or we will have a set quarterfinal in the Concacaf W Gold Cup. And first ever, so we're gonna crown a champion for the first time.
And it's gonna be here in Snapdragon.
Davinia takes off, still has all this energy, moves towards the middle and gives it away. Nunes, Beatriz. And Brazil will possess to drain some clock. Service up, Nunes heads that into the back of a defender, and Bailey will come out to bring it home. Oh, he enters stoppage time. And just got a few seconds. That will do it. Brazil, an emphatic victory over Panama. They win 5-0.
And it was important for Brazil after just 2 goals scored over a 2 match. Interesting to see how they can react offensively and being able to find different players to score. That's also always important in a short tournament.
Geyse has a brace. Davinia gets in on the action, and top to bottom, a real team victory for Brazil against Panama. Panama is out. We knew that, and Brazil's moving on to the quarterfinal. So it doesn't change too much in terms of the group, but it does mean that Brazil does win this group and remains undefeated in the group stage.
Which is always important, even though that coming towards the seeding for the quarterfinal, it's not gonna be if you're first or second of your group, just the points and the goal differential will separate you from either position. So that's gonna be interesting to see. And Puerto Rico, the big surprise.
Com a Geyse, autora de 2 gols do Brasil na goleada por 5-0 sobre o Panamá. Vitória contundente, né? Vindo de 2 vitórias, mas hoje fazendo 5 gols. Brasil se destacando no ataque muito hoje também.
Estou feliz pela vitória, pelo trabalho que a gente vem construindo com a nova comissão. A gente tem muito para aprender ainda, isso é só um processo, da caminhada é muito longa. Feliz e é isso.
Queria saber dos teus 2 gols, porque contra a Colômbia saiu o gol, acabou sendo anulado, mas hoje, pô, 2 gols, que você, claro, celebrou bastante.